Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're in Tombstone for a very special trip here. Riley's never been here before, so she wanted to see what the Wild West town was like. So today we're going to dive into some history, see some interesting things, and maybe even go find some food. But it's going to be an exciting adventure today, so come on and let's get to it. Here at the OK Corral, they do have their gun ordinance, the city ordinance number 9. It tells you a little bit more about the gun laws here, and it's pretty interesting because this was approved in 1881. Now just past that, they have the actual shootout at the OK Corral where they do a live show a few times a day where they act out what exactly happened at the OK Corral so we can see it for ourselves. Now, today we won't be going because unfortunately dogs aren't welcome, so we can't go in there. It's because of the loudness of the gunfire, I'm sure, but there are lots of cool things in this building aside from that you can find out a little bit more about the true story of the OK Corral. Now, my very first trip here, I went to the Historama after going to the OK Corral, and this just gives you a little bit more context. So if you're coming to Tombstone, there are two things I highly recommend: the Historama and the OK Corral. Literally side by side, definitely worth it for painting the full picture, but it gives you kind of some context. Not to mention, you can see some wild characters walking out of the OK Corral and kind of roaming around in the streets. So let's see if we can find some of them. As we roam around looking for those characters, though, we're walking on some of the boardwalks here, which is how you would get around the city of Tombstone in its earliest days. All of the streets here are still dirt. You can't drive through this center section whatsoever. They actually only allow the stagecoach to go through. And so we're going to see if we can find that too. I think it's just down this way. Favorite thing about Tombstone is as you walk through the boardwalks, you can kind of look around and you'll find these signs that tell you the stories of Tombstone, as well as have historic context through the photos. So they have several of these and they're all along the side. In fact, there's one across the way over there too. And then we can see a few down there. So this is the way that I like to see a town, always reading the context so I can get a little bit better idea, but there's a lot of fun things to do here, so let's see if we can find a few of those. We have a big day ahead. There's one of those characters right there. There he is. Now, historically, these characters are significant because they're actually kind of modeled after some of the Wild West people who came through this town. Now, Tombstone is a real town. Like many of the Western towns, they have some interesting stories behind some of the things that have happened here. Now, as you're going through and you see all the context of all the history, you'll learn really quickly that there were a lot of saloons and a lot of bars. There weren't a lot of places of worship, and a lot of crazy things happened as a result of that. Now, as we're walking around, though, the history starts to unfold. And through those interactive places like the OK Corral, you get a first-hand glance at what it might have been like to be in one of those Wild West shootouts. You can kind of cosplay as the time by riding the stagecoach, and you can go through a mine here that actually was very predominant, and the reason why we actually have Tombstone today. Now, I've done that on a previous episode. I would encourage you guys to go check that out. It just tells you a little bit more of the context of why Tombstone became Tombstone. But for now, oh my goodness, we got to see where we can take Riley that she'll absolutely love, and she's walking toward a barbecue place that I ate at last time I was here. I have no idea if she wants to eat there, if she wants to go over to Big Nose Kate's. We're about to find out. What did you think, Riley? Were you over there trolling to see what kind of food they have?
Kind of.
Kind of?
If you have recommendations, we could go where you suggest.
I mean, I have had ice cream here that was delightful. It's a little cold for ice cream for me.
Not for me.
I have had barbecue at that place that we just were looking at, Punny John's.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had some cool drinks over at Big Nose Kate's whenever it was burning hot when I was here last time. They have food everywhere, though. We can just keep looking. Doing a little window shopping. You never know what you'll find here. There's all sorts of interesting shops. Ooh, we found another sign here. This one is about Brown's Hotel and Hafford's Saloon, 1879. You can see what it looks like. It looks like they had quite a bit of taxidermy in there. It says that Charles Brown opened the Mojave Hotel, and it was one of the first hash houses in the tent on this corner. And by the 1880s, he erected a 2-story adobe building, and now it's called the Brown Hotel. That's interesting. Very interesting. But of course, there's so much more to this story. This is only stop number 16. He's over here looking at the shady lady. Lots of cool clothing. I love this. This is so nice. Yeah, they have lots of cute designs and clothing in this one. Riley was noticing that they have this haunted attraction, and it's kind of interesting. This is Ike Clanton, who is a very pivotal figure in the Tombstone area, and they have a walkthrough that has Hollywood effects to kind of paint the picture as to what it is, but it's pretty wild. There's actually a couple videos online showing you a little bit more about this. I can't film in this one, so I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. It is definitely neat, super, super cool. Meanwhile, I might have to challenge Riley to a duel in a bit. Do-do-do-do-do-do. We can do this. Now here we have the Crystal Palace bar, which opens at 11 a.m. and you can go inside. They have a lot of different things in there. I like this because they have live music frequently here. They also are known for their specials when it comes to their mixed drinks and libations. So this is one option for food. You'll find this sign right here in front of the Crystal Palace talking about Virgil Earp. This is where he was ambushed and crippled for life as a result of the Earp and Clanton gunfight on December 28, 1881. It was right here in this very street. Oh, the dusty streets of Tombstone, the stories that they tell. Speaking of Wyatt Earp, here is the theater that has also gunfight shows daily, noon, 2, and 3:30, and you can get your pictures with Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp, and the Cowboys right through that door right there. Right close to that, we have historic location 22 and 26. I don't know the rhyme or reason of these, but Buckskin, Frank Leslie killed Billy Claiborne here in this section right here on November 14th, 1882, and also Luke Short killed Charlie Storms here in this location. So you never know what you're going to find here. A lot of these signs talk about the historic buildings and show you context, but if you read all of them, you learn that there was a lot of violence here. Going back to those bars, there were a lot of bars, there were a lot of saloons, there was a lot of poker played, there were a lot of indiscretions, and because of that, things got weird. We are at the Oriental Saloon, and they have the highest kicks in town, showgirls, and you can see they even have a bingo room and casino. We just passed somebody over here, this guy standing up against the wall. Who are you, sir? Oh, it's a sheriff. Sheriff's in town, sheriff's in town. I keep seeing in these is they have little brands. I thought about getting a bee so I could brand my meat. I don't know, maybe we'll do that. Still looking for a patch too. Oh, can't do a bee, there's no bees. So many prickly pear items, and I've actually had this brand here, but I did it in the popcorn. It was delightful. A lot of good stickers, like super good stickers here, but I'm still not finding patches just yet. No, absolutely not. No. Snakes, even stuffed. No. Back here it looks like they have mostly clothes, but these are like period themed clothing items. This is really cool. So you could find like skirts, they have oversized hats, some more normal things, and then you go full on period attire here again, even down to the buttons. Very neat. Then along this wall we have all of the different corsetry. So neat. You never know what you'll find. That's why going into each one of these stores is important. Ooh, this material feels nice. So I have this one, so I need one of these. I don't know which one. I don't want necessarily just an Arizona, so I think I need something that's Tombstone related. So this one, cool. Okay, so now that I found my patch, I'm good to go. Now we want to find probably some lunch. And so we're almost to the end of the boardwalks going this way, and then we'll turn around and go back down the other side and figure out something to eat probably, because everything's starting to smell good. And it is around lunchtime, so that kind of makes sense. Now, a few things that I enjoy doing when I'm in Tombstone is just soaking in all the different stores. The stores have great things in them and a variety of different things. Now, again, is it touristy? Yes. Do they have some awesome things? So like the attire that you can buy? Absolutely. You can't find that everywhere. They also have things that are made by local craftsmen and brought in, and I think that that's really neat to see as well. So when you're here, just take the time to just enjoy it. And again, there's a couple shows that you can go to that are live things. There's of course the Stagecoach, which is only $15 per adult, so that's not terrible, and it's a pretty decent tour. They have of course the mine, and then also they have another little tour that they do around town on a trolley car. So all of those are great options. But we're gonna see if Riley found anything, and if she did, we'll see what it is. And Tyson made it back.
Yay!
What did you find in the store? Anything?
Stickers.
Stickers?
I didn't buy anything yet, but I may go back for some stickers.
They have some cute ones in there.
They do have.
So that was what store again? That was the Ladies in Lace, or the Silver Hills Trading Company. This one right here.
Yeah, we went to the Silver.
So if you look for the wooden Sheriff, that's where that was. That's where I found my patch too. They did mention that several of the stores have patches, different patches at different places. And so I encourage you guys to, if you collect patches or stickers, check out all of the stores because they have some cool ones. But there's a few more things that we need to get into before we find that food. And I don't know where we're going to end up. We're right across from Nellie's Wicks and Bricks and Doc Holiday's, but we're also across from Fallen Angel, which has some awesome fudge. Fudge. The fudge that we had last time was so good. We had like a huckleberry fudge. It was delightful. So I don't know. Is that going to be what we have a snacky poo of? I'm not sure. We might just go have actual food.
Yeah.
Food?
Food.
Okay. Vintage Cowgirls and Cowboys has some cool stuff. Gosh, oh my gosh, should I get one of these? Should I get one of these? Okay, so this is the extra large, so it's probably going to be a little bit big, but let's see what it looks like. I could be like Daniel Boone. Oh yeah, this thing's huge. Okay, so maybe I get a smaller one that doesn't wiggle. This one is the small. I have a very small head, so maybe this will work better. This one might be too small. Too small. Let's see if they have like a medium. Medium, maybe?
Schmedium.
Maybe. I think these are all like either extra large or small. Well, I guess I can't get a Daniel Boone hat.
Oh no.
Maybe I could find a cowboy hat. Ooh, I get a cowboy hat in Tombstone. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do
Go
it.
through the streets.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try some on. Ooh. Speaking of which, yeehaw.
What did you do?
Okay, we'll put it back. It's clearly like a thing that you stick in your car, but
That's Tyson sized.
okay, we have to find a cowboy hat that fits.
Okay.
You have to try one on too.
Okay.
We're gonna try on cowboy hats too.
Okay.
A holster, that's not a cowboy hat, but right beyond the holsters, ooh, look at these. I think we scored. The question is, what kind of hat is my vibe? Oh my gosh, this could be my vibe right here. This could be my vibe. Do you think this is my vibe? This could be my vibe. Like, I've had a hat like this in the past. I think this might need to go on my head and see if it works. This one doesn't have a size, but it's actually made of paper, which is interesting. So, yeah, it's a fashion hat. It has this nice turquoise. Still a little bit big, but what you think? Do you like this one better?
I love it, actually. I really love it.
This one could be good because this one's better, but let me see if I can find a slightly smaller one that might fit my head better because it doesn't have an adjuster in it.
They should all basically go on one side.
So
One size fits all. We stick a little piece of foam inside and make it small.
Thank you. So she just mentioned these are like one size fits all, so I could put something in here to like adjust it since I don't have a ton of hair and a very small head. So there's that. Or do I need something bigger for the side?
Yeah, larger than life.
And there's more hats over on the left-hand side over here.
Thank you. What do you think?
Love it.
Is this one a nice shady one? I need something like this. This is felt. So felt is more appropriate during the winter months and straw is supposed to be used for summer. So realistically, by hat code, I probably shouldn't get this one for right now. I should get this one. Like, if you're out there wearing a straw hat or a paper hat during the winter, not hat code. So I think I'm going to keep that in mind because now I know where this store is. So if I want to get a hat, I'll get it on my way out. Until then, I'm going to go and see if we can find some food. Speaking of gunfight, here's Gunfighter's Gulch. This is another place that you can go into. Currently, they are closed. However, they are normally open from 1 to 4 or 12 to 4, depending on whenever you are here. So make sure to check this one out. We may come back and see this one a little bit later this afternoon. This is a place I have not eaten before. They have pizza and an arcade here. This is the Hotel Tombstone. It says arcade, homemade pizza, homemade pie, ice cream, milkshakes, malts and floats, pickles, fresh coffee, and also a general store. And they have a free movie museum. Interesting. The dining area, and then you can go back here and see more. It looks like the arcade's at the back, and then here's where they do the pizzas. Super neat. Right across from the Birdcage Theater, which is another historic stop here in Tombstone. In fact, there's a couple signs in front of the Birdcage that I'll share with you about the significance of this particular theater. Before Riley and I take off to do our food. We're gonna stop over here. There's actually a parking lot that you can park in at this end of the dirt road through Tombstone. They also go toward the zip line, it looks like. Wow. This isn't something we're gonna do today because it is icy in the air, but there is a zip line here. So if you like zip lining, check out the Tombstone one. From here also, you can get to the National Historic Site, which is the Sacred Heart Church, which is only a couple blocks away. They have other information about district buildings and how you can find them, as well as more parking. There's tons of parking around Tombstone, and it's definitely worth it to kind of just explore and find out. Okay, we have made it to stop 31, which is the Birdcage Theater. And the Birdcage Theater was built in 1881 by Bill and Lottie Hutchison on the site of the killing of Marshal Fred White. And after a fire of 1881, it became the only theater in Tombstone that remained, other than the Shefflin's Hall. And it quickly became a first-class variety theater. And because of this, there's a lot of interesting things that happened here, including down here where it tells you a little bit more about that Hutchison was a true showman, and sometimes he would stage his own dramas for the audience. There was a heckler who was shot, and his body was then thrown on stage, and then the body was actually made of straw. But in the same location, guess what? Someone else was killed, and that is Fred White, who was in fact the marshal. So right in the same exact spot as the Birdcage, there was another death in 1880. Have you been noticing all of the crazy deaths that have happened here in Tombstone?
There's been a lot of crazy deaths.
Yes, there's so many shootings that happened right here in Tombstone. It was pretty rough here.
So I've heard.
When you're looking at it now, would you think it to be rough at all?
No, not right now.
But if we were having a shootout, could you imagine everybody staring out the windows and watching as it went down?
Yeah.
Lots of windows to watch the action. Oh, I see Riley found something interesting. So we're emerging from the shadows to see some cool equipment back here. And what is this guy? What is this guy? So this guy woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. He's not having his best life day, that's for sure. But he's right in front of these items, which are very neat. Now, it does say here, please don't lean on the fence, but you see they have another stage, also driven by some skeletons, some wagons that might have been used at the time, and this frame of a car that leaves a little bit to the imagination, but we're right next to the Tombstone News also. Tombstone News is right here. It says honest and accurate reporting from the Tombstone News, but this isn't the original news office. In fact, that is in a different location, and you can go in and see how the news was originally brought to everyone, but this is a cool stop to kind of find also. The place that has the fudge also has gelato, and they have bear claws and warm apple pie. This is another good one. This is a coffee shop right here. Ooh, they have an espresso bar, and then also they have peppermint white mocha. What? Okay, Riley, is this another sheriff? Is this another sheriff?
Oh, no.
Wait, no, this is not a sheriff. This is Duke. And Duke looks like a gunslinger. Oh no! I also find it interesting that most of these places are no firearms allowed. I wonder why. Now it looks like here in Doc Holidays they have a lot of different kinds of shots and drinks. It looks like
Jello shots.
they have even more. And then on this side they have a menu. French fries, tater tots, mini corn dogs, pizza rolls, mozzarella sticks. You know, like normal kind of bar food. They also have pizza down here. Okay, cool. So Riley, we're still walking?
Yeah.
That wasn't really your jam?
That wasn't my jam.
What you looking for?
I don't know.
We'll have to find something good. Ooh, this is the Wicks and Bricks.
Oh, I love this.
Here they have handmade soaps, lotions, beard and mustache care, hair care, essential oils. Okay, I have to go in here. I have to. It smells so delightful coming out of the door. Let's do this. So many beautiful things. And the prices are very decent here at the same time. Look at this. Good prices for homemade soaps. Ooh, being in the desert, this lip scrub might be the jam. I'm almost out of my lip scrub, so this could be an option for me. $6. I think I'm gonna have to get one of these for sure. Okay, so I really want to get one of these because I love lip scrubs. And again, being in the desert, I smelled all of these. Peppermint, fruit punch, cherry, toasted coconut, Imer huckleberry, just peachy lemonade. This is the Irish cream, the watermelon, jelly bean, and apple crisp. This is going home with me for sure. These though, these are so cute with the little cacti coming out of them. I was looking at the room sprays and these are delightful also. So many good options though. Oh my gosh. And they have shampoo and conditioner bars over on the wall. These right here, these are awesome. I don't currently need shampoo or conditioner, otherwise I would totally get these. I also have diffusers and essential oils. Like even the names echo like Tombstone, definitely. Like you have a Clanton, you have an Earp. This is cool. I am so happy that we came in here. The smell of the deliciousness was just like coming out of the door and you could just, it was almost like a trance bringing you in. And then both Riley and I found things in here that we could bring into our travel spaces. And they gave me a card, so if I like this, I can order it from anywhere, which is always a win for me. So lip scrub, here we come. That's going to be part of my routine tonight. And I'll kind of modify my self-care routine just a little bit for it. So yay! Just outside of the Longhorn family dining, you can find that this used to be called the Owl Cafe and Tourist Hotel. On December 28th, 1881, while crossing 5th Street, Virgil Earp was ambushed and shot right in this area. The would-be assassins hid in the new building that was under construction and opened fire with the gunshots. Riley is walking her way down this way. Now, we are learning that a lot of the businesses aren't necessarily super dog-friendly, so that's something to note. You can walk around outside, and some of them are, but not as many. So since it's a nice, cool day, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take Tyson back to Riley's car. I'm not sure how this is going to work exactly, but we figured that if we want to eat at one of the restaurants he's not allowed in, this would be a good way for us to do that. Plus, again, it's nice outside today, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. He's getting a little anxiety from the big horses, so this will give him like a chill moment to just be relaxed, which I think will be good for both of them. But it'll be cool. It'll be cool. Of course, right here is the Good Enough Mine underground tour that I've taken before. It was a really great tour. Highly recommend. The marshal's office? Ah, it looks like it's pretty nice in there, actually. Okay, this is interesting because across the way we could see it, but then there's a sign whenever you get in here closer to it that tells you that in 1881, this double adobe structure here was the site of the Garrett and Page's wagon shop, and to our left was the charcoal yard. So right over in this direction would have been the charcoal yard. Really neat. And Riley's going down toward another business that we're not exactly sure what it is, but we'll check it out. We just dropped off Tyson. Now it's time for us to go and explore and find some food. Here we go. This is actually the Wyatt's Hotel entrance, and you can stay here or go inside only if you're a guest, but this is a really neat building. And so as we're looking around, you look up, you look down, you see little pieces of history all around. This one is voted one of the best in Tombstone, but it's closed currently. But that's not stopping Riley from pulling up to the Saloon Theater and enjoying some apple cider. Just beyond the Wyatt Earp's Hotel, we find this, which is Hoptown, which is the Chinese section of town. It says in 1879, there were 11 people in Tombstone of Chinese descent. And by the end of 1882, there were 250. And we learned that at one of our other stops in Wilcox, that the reason why so many Chinese immigrants ended up in these areas was because of the railroads. They were using that as one of their primary jobs. And whenever they were finished with those things, they would end up coming to these communities and settling in. Now, we learned here that the Chinese ran the laundries and also many of the restaurants. They grew vegetables and they were day laborers, but they also served in some other kinds of things. But one of the things that's kind of neat here was we get to see what China Mary actually looked like. And China Mary was said to control Hoptown, which was the then times version of Chinatown. And she was an employment broker who guaranteed all of her employees would not cheat or steal. If you're interested in finding out a little bit more about that sign, you can come right over here to the Four Deuces Saloon, and there is a Hoptown sign right here in front that you can actually take pictures with, or you can go into the saloon. Oh, and right on the other side of the saloon, you have this rock that has a bunch of drilling holes in it. And I learned about drilling holes whenever I've gone to several of the different mines, but here they also talk about how they would drill these out, put dynamite in, and then what would happen thereafter. So it's kind of neat to learn. We're going into Smokey's Emporium as we walk back toward our restaurant because I saw something, and I think you can see it too. Is that really? It is. It's a casket propped open with a parasail. I'm kind of afraid to look in. Oh, is there anything in there? Oh, yeah, there's something in there. Oh no! Walking around all day, have you felt like there was a deep presence here?
Yeah.
I think it was that guy.
Yeah.
That's the only deep presence here. Although there have been a lot of shootings and things. A lot of people freak out about coming to places like this because they're like, oh no, it could be scary. It's not scary at all, guys. It's very not scary. Yeah, sure, bad things happened here, but bad things happen everywhere. But this one just has a lot more history to it. So no deep presence. If you want to have an authentic Western experience, they also have a distillery here with whiskey tastings. This is the entrance. Let's do this. Riley decided that she wanted to try Longhorn. I haven't been here since like the first time I came, and it was just like breakfast basically. So we're having a Longhorn restaurant. The menu here is pretty extensive. They have a lot of things. They also have a lot of like drink specials if you like drinking. And so there's lots of cool things. So this is going to be a hard menu to go through, but I'm going to try to make it. And then they also look like they have the legend on the back here. That's pretty cool. Okay, Riley and I have ordered our food, but then we were looking around at the tables, and even the tables here are decorated. Look at this. They have all sorts of different like ads from Tombstone Past, so like the funeral home. It's kind of funny. We also have Wells Fargo over here, and then this one, of course, is the inflatable bosom. That's so funny. So yeah, if you needed a push-up bra back in the day, this is how you could do it right here. We're sat down by this screen that tells you a little bit of the history behind, but also shows you all of the different food that they have. And let me tell you, this is single-handedly just made my mouth water. The food has arrived. The food has arrived. Oh, this is gonna be good. So these are pork belly tacos, and they're served with rice and beans. This should be delightful. Looking forward to this. We just finished up our meal. It was good. Now I'm tired. I kind of went into a little bit of a food coma. And so we're going to look around. We're going to go into the Desert Eagle Trading Post. Riley's going in, and then I'll see you guys in just a minute because they don't allow filming in this one. We didn't find anything in there, but there's a couple more stores on this side that we wanted to check out, including this one right here, which is where we saw the train earlier. Is it open? Let's go inside. Let's go inside. Now that store was pretty cool because they had all of these like really interesting like wooden pieces that had been laser cut with all sorts of cool phrases. Definitely a lot of neat stuff, but also all the trains in there. Oh. Here it comes again. All day, several times a day. Oh, this makes me so happy. Finally, we're making one last stop at the OK Corral.
Yeah, we are.
And here they have a bunch of cool stuff. Now, this is where you can come and see the gunfight. And so they have tons of things that are related to that. But it's a huge store in here. So that's the thing I was telling you about with the neat rotating display. And then there's Riley, who's over here getting super excited about something that looks like a Stanley. But in all reality, there's all sorts of interesting things in here. So make sure you stop in. We're just going to browse around a little bit. And then after that, we'll see if we can find anything that we need to take with us. And then we're going to call it a day here in Tombstone. The nice thing about Tombstone is even if you're not a historian or you're not a history buff like I am, you can come here and learn a lot from not only the signs, but also the books that they have here. There's tons of great information that you can pick up so that you can better understand your surroundings, even for the kiddos where they have activity books and then also smaller kids books. So you don't have to come here with all the knowledge. You can actually come here and learn as you go, get tons of brain wrinkles. And they even have these little decks, which I really love because you can take these with you. And as you look at them, you'll notice that they have different things on each one, and they tell you about the different animals and wildlife, survival, the plants of this region. So there's no reason you can't come to Tombstone and have a good time. If you're like Riley and haven't actually watched Tombstone before, you can pick up your very own copy here, and then you can learn a little bit more about the town and the interpretation that was created for Hollywood. But there's a couple of others also. My Darling Clementine with Henry Fonda, Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas, all movies that have been kind of synonymous with this area, in addition to Kevin Costner and Wyatt Earp. Riley, when you came here, did you have a lot of knowledge of the area?
No, I did not.
Did you think you're leaving with a little bit more thanks to the signs?
A little bit more thanks to the signs, yes.
Yeah. So it definitely doesn't mean that you have to have the most knowledge to come and visit, right? And if you're not here for the knowledge and you just want something weird, scorpion candy.
Absolutely not. I have already done that before.
Now, if you do buy one of the tickets to see the show, you can also come back to this section and see a hearse and a few other interesting things back behind those doors. Again, I've already done this part of the tour before, and you can see all of the different saddles from the movies and things. I definitely encourage you guys to check this part out. It just adds a lot of context. Definitely worth it. It's definitely fun, and it's definitely an interesting way to see something just a little bit different here in Tombstone. Now, not every visit do you have to do the same thing. You can do different things like we're doing today. Well, guys, I think it is time for me to ride off into the sunset because we're finished here at Tombstone for today. I've been so excited to share this with not only you guys but Riley, but giddy up. Y'all come back now. Bye. Woo.